sports fans. It's a new week here on the WTOL 11 Leaderboard, and I'm Noelle Blumel.
I'm Tyler Segerman. Soccer, football, tennis, and baseball. We've got it all on the leaderboard this week, and we can't wait to bring it to you. So let's take a look at the rundown to see what is coming up. A tough break turned into a comeback story. We tell you how one local tennis star turned injury into inspiration. Then he's making an impact far beyond the football field. See how Toledo's Matt Hofer is serving others around the world.
The Rockets bounced back in a big way at the Glass Bowl. Watch how Toledo turned last week's loss into a statement win. And playoff spots are on the line across Northwest Ohio. I'll break down who's in, who's out, and what's at stake heading into Week 10.
Plus, a big change when it comes to NIL for high school athletes here in the Buckeye State. We hear from the latest episode of Chasing the Game, our poll, parent shout-out, and more. So let's dive in.
She's been a powerhouse on the tennis court, but it wasn't just Sophia Avram's game that turned heads. It was her grit, leadership, and the way she turned a setback into a comeback.
Yes.
Senior Sophia Avram was used to playing alone, competing as a singles player for Maumee Valley Country Day. But heading into her junior season, a fractured ankle threatened to end it all.
She just said, I am going to do whatever I can with whatever I have and make this season count.
While some might have taken the year off, Avram leaned in.
Okay.
Unable to play, she sharpened her mental game, studied her teammates, and stayed part of the team.
She said, if all I get to do this year is cheer, I'm going to be the best cheerleader. Watching her go from tears to cheers.
Nice.
And transforming her own mindset about what she was going to do, I think completely changed the culture of the team.
Her return wasn't instant. Coach Epiphany Jones and Avram agreed on a slow build.
Here?
Starting with covering a quarter of the court, then half, then more.
I was a singles player before, but I knew I wouldn't be able to play singles and run around all over the court. So I had to change my game, change how I play.
That change?
You got a Mari?
Partnering up with junior standout Mariona Shannon.
If it works, it works.
Who's no stranger to state competition in singles.
I call them the octopus because it's just 8 limbs going top speed. With a big brain attached, and the fact that they independently both asked me to do this for them without the other knowing. They're in such great alignment with their vision for themselves.
We got it.
It's great for me to be able to support them in it.
Yeah.
She's really athletic and strong, and I'm very quick, so that kind of balances each other out a lot. So I feel like we cover each other's weaknesses and our strengths meld together really well.
From solo players to synchronized partners, Avram and Shannon have found more than just rhythm on the court.
I got to get there quicker.
I mean, you got it.
They've found trust, chemistry, and a shot at state, this time together.
Honestly, I think it was. I don't know if I would have had the same results if I played singles. I think it would have been really good, but I'm honestly kind of grateful that I fractured my ankle because I wouldn't have been able to realize what my potential was without it.
And sticking with inspiration but shifting to the gridiron, Toledo Rockets football is rich in history, so any type of player can break through as the first to do so definitely warrants attention. Yet for redshirt freshman Matt Hofer, it's not a stat that has set him apart, but a call to service and helping others. Check this out.
Jack, that's the one I want. Continuously just praying and seeking open doors to be able to go continue to grow my call and serve other people.
Whether preparing meals for the homeless or preparing for a game in a Rockets uniform, Matt Hofer is focused on helping others.
When I heard about it, I almost thought, man, it's kind of crazy that there's an award just because we're football players and that we've done what I think God's called us to do. But at the end of the day, I'm extremely humble. I'm thankful for it.
Last month, he landed on the All-State AFCA Good Works team for his missionary work and community service. He's the youngest player on the national award list and the first from UT to be recognized.
In athletics, we say the same thing of go all out. You don't know when your last day is going to be. And for me, with missions, with service, with all these things that I do, I just want to continue to empty the tank.
All right, I got you. Having a good day?
From Indiana to the Glass City and far beyond, This student athlete continues to make a positive impact wherever he can.
I've always grown up kind of having that servant attitude, but when I was 16 years old, that's when the real cross-cultural and mission aspect came along with it.
Powered by faith, Hofer has found purpose in spreading his service, which has taken him to places like Kenya and the Philippines.
We didn't have a whole lifetime. We didn't have a month or a year to be with them. So whatever I could give them, I just wanted to be able to give them and say, hey, Jesus loves you. We love you. We want to serve you in whatever way is possible.
In downtown Toledo, he enjoys spending time at Cherry Street Mission.
That's a nice shirt right there. Looks pretty. It looks good with your eyes.
Making food and offering smiles.
Hey, how can we celebrate together? Hey, how can I mourn with you? And you get to learn these people's names, you get to hear these people's stories, and then eventually, for some of them, it's been a blessing to see them go on.
And while football offers a great platform, he's inspired to share his quest for ministry and volunteerism with those around him.
But I'm really hoping that can be that impact. That can not just end with me.
And here's how you at home can help. Hofer is one of 23 individuals up for this 2025 award. To vote for him, simply go to espn.com/Allstate and select his name. Voting runs through November 10th. And Noel, obviously, he doesn't see a lot of playing time, but clearly that's obviously the back of his mind right now because he's just helping others in any way he can.
Absolutely. I like the line, finding purpose in service. It's great to see when athletes can take an extra role outside of their already busy schedule. Obviously, being a student athlete, it's like a full-time job. And for him to take this extra step to give back to the community, missionary work in any way he can, pretty amazing and inspirational. And speaking of inspiration, going back to Sophia, the tennis player, I think athletics provides a platform to do that in such a great way. Anytime there's a setback, a little bit of a different situation for her, but setback turning into a comeback, pretty inspirational for not only the people around them on the team, but the people that they impact beyond sports.
Yeah, and you mentioned platform. That's what Matt was so graceful for. I mean, he's been doing this his whole life, but the fact he is a football player, now his offerings and his service get that much more magnified because obviously he wears that Toledo Rocket uniform as well. So obviously just a great spot for both of them, obviously, to be able to achieve what they've done for both Sophia and Matt, and hopefully we see them continue that here moving forward. Well, it is the final week of the regular season in high school football. Playoff spots are on the line. Who's in, who's out, and which teams are fighting for first-round buys. We're breaking it all down coming up next.
Well, it had been 3 weeks since the Rockets played at the Glass Bowl and gotten a win. And while head coach Jason Candle says the team doesn't rank losses, he also said it was a tough week of practice heading into their game with Kent State. Well, that was due to coming off the heartbreaking rivalry loss to Bowling Green. But Toledo was able to channel that frustration and come out on the other side of a second-half shutout. Here's the recap of the action I took in on the sidelines. Rocket Nation eager to see Toledo back at home and one of Napoleon's own, as Trey Rubenstein made his way back to the 419 today as a golden flash. Tied at 10 as the first half winds down, Tucker Gleason takes the snap, drops back, runs around to try and find one of his receivers, and makes the pass to a wide open Ryder Treadway. Look at the extension for that catch right there as he gives Toledo the go-ahead touchdown before the break. Second half now, Rockets leading by 7. Gleason takes the snap, throws the dart to Junior Vandeross as he catches and makes the short run into the end zone to put Toledo up another 6. Rockets running away in the second half with this one. Kent State trying to respond. Quarterback drops back, looks to pass, but defense comes up big on third down. Hudson Miller making his way through for the sack and forcing them to punt. And on the very next play, golden flashes in punt formation. Punter takes the snap, goes for the kick, but it's blocked by the Rockets. Eric Williams with a huge play as he chases it into the end zone, jumps on top of it, and secures the touchdown. And that gets Rocket Nation on their feet, and it'd only be up from there as Toledo goes on to shut out Kent State in the second half and put up 45 unanswered points to win by a final of 45-10.
And really, quite honestly, kind of happy that we got down early, because I think all week long you tell them that this is what it's going to be, this is going to be a turnaround, this is going to, and it, after half of the first quarter, didn't feel like you talked about all week. So it was about gut check time and about a response, and and I think that through the second quarter there, we got some real solid momentum. You go to the third quarter, Kent tries to, chooses to take the win into fourth quarter, and we got to take advantage of our opportunities in the third. Obviously the pump block and that was a massive play, but to be able to swing the momentum there, I thought was huge.
Just us taking more accountability. That was all. None more, none less, none we wouldn't do the last couple weeks. It meant a lot for me personally, but I take every 1-0. I come with the same mindset. Just try to do what I can to help the team out personally.
Yeah, we got some really good guys in that wideout room. They can all go make big time plays, and you saw that today. So it's that's nice to be able, and not only that, like being able to rotate those guys, and not only just focused on one receiver. Now we've got 4 or 5 guys that can come in and rotate, and we can spread the ball around.
Takes the snap, goes for the kick, but it's
Week 10 of the high school football season is upon us. Final chance for our Northwest Ohio programs to make a mark and solidify seeding. So much still to be decided, so I'm going to help provide the playoff picture as it stands right now. Now, to be clear, these brackets are subject to and most likely will change after Friday's games, but they do offer a great glimpse of what to expect come postseason time. So we begin in Division 1. You can see behind me right off the bat, we have Perrysburg and Whitmer. As you can see, 5 and 4 right behind each other. The Jackets sitting in that coveted first-round bye position, while the Panthers are right behind them. These two teams battling each other on Friday night, so not only is an NLO Buckeye Division title on the line, but obviously playoff seeding, huge implications there as well. Then, of course, we have Findlay, who, interestingly enough, put in a separate region for Division 1. The Trojans sitting pretty in that number 3 spot. Again, that would equate to a first-round bye. Division 2 is a little more complex, and as it stands right now, you got Anthony Wayne at 6, St. Francis at 7, and Clay at 8. Neither team has clinched a playoff spot, so they need a win to not only host those games next week, but also get into the tournament. Then in D3, Central Catholic, they possess the highest mark in our area at number 8. They're up there in the top left of your screen. Of course, Central Catholic would host in that spot if they would stay there. They, of course, have already clinched a playoff spot, the Fighting Irish, so they're just playing for seeding at this point. Now, Division 4 sees Napoleon with a first-round bye. The Wildcats having a great year. They are just coming off an NLL Cardinal Division championship last week. They could earn a top 4 seed as well with a win at home against Waite. Now, here's a fun bracket. Division 5, you got 3. Liberty Center, Genoa, Liberty Benton, all 3 are currently in first-round bye conversation. But here is where it gets interesting, because you look over here, Oak Harbor and Eastwood, both NBC schools. If this holds, they would then play an all-local affair. Eastwood-Genoa would be a great rematch. Then you got Oak Harbor and Liberty Center. They've played twice in the playoffs the last 2 years. Last year was a great game. Archibald in Division 6 also playing for a number 1 seed. So on top of an NWOAL championship, Archibald and Liberty Center also playing for a number 1 seed in the playoffs as well. So a big game in Fulton County on Friday night. And then finally, what a story North Baltimore has become. The Tigers sitting as the number 2 seed in Division 7, Region 26. Of course, they get a win this week, and they'll clinch that spot, get a first-round bye. Same can be said for Gibsonburg, who's at the 4 spot as well. So, as I mentioned before, quite a bit on the line come Friday night. What makes this time of year so great? And we'll be covering close to a dozen area games for Big Board Friday. Should be sure to tune in for that.
Well, I am all tuned in, Tyler. Thanks for breaking that down for us. Honestly, it's hard to believe that we're just heading into Week 10. We're in the last week of the regular season. To think that it's all over, it really goes by in the blink of an eye. But to also think that many of our local teams that we've covered throughout this entire season have put themselves in a position to make a playoff appearance, first round bye, playoff push, home field advantage, really speaks to the talent that is in Northwest Ohio.
Yeah, who would have thought changing the format would add more excitement and drama into Week 10 and the regular season finale, right?
Right. It's so exciting to see, but I'm not excited to have to layer up for how cold it's going to be. So, of course, we hope the teams go as far as they can, but it's going to be a little chilly.
Yeah, we've been dry, though. We've been dry in each Friday, so maybe the dryness continues. But yes, the wind and the chilly,
yeah.
It'll definitely get a little colder, that's for sure.
Well, looking forward to it. Thanks for the breakdown. Well, a major shakeup could be coming to high school sports in Ohio. Next, we'll tell you how one player's lawsuit and a court ruling could open the door for student athletes to start benefiting from NIL deals. He's He's one of the most respected coaches in Northwest Ohio, and after more than a decade at the helm for Perrysburg girls soccer, Jorge Diaz is calling it a career. Fresh off another NLL championship, Coach Diaz and our Chase Bachman reflect on what this season means, why now was the right time, and what's next as he trades in the sidelines for the stands.
It's so great to finally have you on the show. Just how's life? How are things right now?
Oh, my pleasure. You know, this has been a very impactful year, given that I announced that this will be my last one. We have a very good team, and we just won the NLL by ourselves, and we had some goals, and now we're ready to go into the tournament, so it has been a good thing. It was my birthday, and you know, so anniversary with my wife, 26 years, so it has been a great last couple months.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this time has been great for you. We're taping this on a Sunday right now. You had your big birthday, kind of end of the season celebration on Saturday night. How was that? You know, there were a bunch of, who's who there. Jeff Smith was there. Tyler Segerman was there. So what was it like kind of having all those people there to celebrate you?
It is awesome because over the course of the years, I have made tremendous friends with our community here in Perrysburg, and also been involved in sports. I have had a chance to meet, Jeff and Tyler and, Dan Cummins, was one that started with me, for the most part when he was doing sports. And all my friends and players from, 2012 team, players from 2017 team when we went to States, so it was neat to see them now all grown up.
This season has been so great for you guys, as you said. Why was 2025 the right season for you to retire? Why was now the time to retire?
Well, I think we have a tremendous team, but part of the reasons that I'm retiring too is because my son Alex is playing at University of Findlay, and having the schedule that I have, I'm missing a couple of games here and there, and I don't want to do that. So I decided that that will be my reason number one, so I can see his games, and reason number two, I think I put my time, and we have a great staff that God willing they can take over and the program, and I'm pretty fulfilled with what I have accomplished so far. So
yeah, well, it feels like the program is in good hands. At least that's what you're saying.
What I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and how do you kind of think you'll spend the rest of retirement, other than watching your son Alex? How do you think you'll spend the rest of your time?
Sure. I think honestly, I love being around the players. So the Perrysburg boys side, Dennis, the head coach, he will let me be in the sidelines right there, and I'm pretty sure I will be hanging around once in a while there with the girls. I definitely think that I will miss it, but I think it's a next step for me.
One of the best coaches around our area, super great man as well. We love Jorge. Hip, 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 Jorge.
Yes.
Congratulations on retirement, sir. Well, the fight over NIL rights for high school athletes in Ohio is heating up, and it all started with one player, an Ohio State commit named Jameer Brown.
That's right, Tyler. The OHSA now says it'll hold an emergency vote on whether to allow student athletes to make money from their name, image, and likeness. This comes after the Huber Heights family filed a lawsuit against the OHSAA, arguing its NIL ban unfairly stops players from earning money. A Franklin County judge sided with them, issuing a 45-day restraining order that blocks the OHSAA from enforcing the ban.
Now, the association plans to meet this week to set voting dates. If approved, student athletes could start earning from sponsorships, appearances, and social media deals, just like college players. Ohio is one of only 6 states that still bans NIL, but that could soon change depending on how schools vote in the coming weeks. And obviously, kind of expected this to come. We see this obviously in other states as well, especially at the college level. It was only a matter of time that high school kind of caught up.
I mean, especially with the talent that's starting so young nowadays. I mean, you look at Jeremiah Smith, who's a true freshman, him back in college in Florida and everything. It's just like there is the talent there, so it makes sense. But as somebody that didn't grow up in that time and in high school at that time, I couldn't imagine how that kind of changes the dynamic for the culture of a program or a sports team at the high school level. At such a young age, their minds are still impressionable. Right. I know it's kind of the way of the world and that's the way it's going. But when it comes to those culture building things, I can see that making it a little tough.
Yeah, I hope money obviously doesn't dictate life.
Yeah.
When you're a teenager, you're still growing, you're still having all those life experiences. But obviously, if a guy like that who's getting his name plastered all over social media,
Right.
you would think that, some compensation should come if people are using your name in that fashion.
Yeah, definitely.
So, we'll see. All right, well, now that brings us to our WTOL leaderboard. Oh, sorry, let's go to break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are now bringing to the WTOL 11 leaderboard poll of the week. Last week, we asked you, what is your favorite time of the day for attending football games? We are talking high school, college, and NFL. We got it all.
And your choices were those early games at noon or 1, middle of the day games at 3 or 4, or I think your preference, those nighttime games under the lights at 7 and 8, and the results are in.
And with a whopping 53% of the votes, the winner was those primetime games at night. I am a fan of that myself. As she mentioned, second place was a tie between the early day and the midday action, with both getting just under 25% of the votes.
Oh, we got a tie for that.
Yeah, obviously, a little tie there at the end. But I mean, there's nothing better than a night game, in my opinion. One, you get to tailgate all day long. You get to enjoy the festivities before you go into the game. And it just, under the lights, it's just a different feel.
For me, nothing beats a brat for breakfast. Let's wash down with some beer at 6 a.m. No, I'm kidding. When I think college football, I think a noon kick. It just gets your day going. It sets the tone for the day, especially if it's good weather out. But yeah, if we're talking high school, Friday night lights, there's nothing that beats that nostalgic feeling, whether you're in high school or you've graduated and your alumni coming back. And then I guess primetime NFL games. I mean, that's great. But if you're playing the ones that are closest to us, that's Lions. So you can't tell if it's day or night because it's in a dome. So I stick with college football for noon. I understand the importance of
Here's the
prime
one
time.
thing I'll say about the noon kickoff. At least you get to get done early, so you get to have the rest of your day plans,
True.
however you want to celebrate. That 3:30, 4 o'clock window, you're kind of stuck in the middle. Like you still have to get up early, and then you kind of are coming home late. So there's kind of a weird.
Yeah, it was tied and at the same level as the other one. Because I agree, you can at least with the two options at the beginning or the end, you can dictate the rest of your day.
Right.
But when that kind of becomes the sole focus of your day. But if you do it right, at noon kick, that should be the only thing you do that day. Because you're going to be a little tired
So
after.
I do want to clarify something. So you said something. If you have a noon football kick, or you have a football game at noon, you said you're getting up at 6 a.m. to eat?
If it is an Arizona State game and I am a current student, I'm up at 6 a.m.
All right.
Luckily, that was never the
Good to
case.
know.
We never had noon kicks.
Yeah.
We weren't that important when I was in college. But yes, I would do anything for my Devils, and I'm sure all the alumni out there would do too. We see Ohio State all the time in Columbus too. So
Yeah, they probably don't
yes.
sleep on Fridays anyway.
Correct. Well, that'll bring us to this week's leaderboard poll of the week. This week, we're talking local mascots.
Yeah, Northwest Ohio is home to some of the most iconic mascot duos, but which one is your favorite?
Your choices are Muddy and Madonna, the Mud Hens, Spike and Catrick from the Walleye, Freddie and Frida, Falcon, or Rocky and Roxy, Rockets. To vote, simply scan the QR code on your screen right now or head to WTOL11.com and head to the sports section. As always, we'll be back here next week to break down the results.
That one's going to be tough.
I know.
Yeah. All right, finally, it's time for our parent athlete shout out of the week.
This week's star has a trophy case most players only dream of. And Tyler, he's just a freshman. Meet Brandon Garcia Jr. He is one of the top 14U baseball players in all of Northwest Ohio. Take a look. Now a freshman at St. John's Jesuit, Brandon plays travel ball with demand command, sitting in the top 20 in the state for his age. He's competed all over the country and making his mark with more than 15 home runs and multiple tournament MVPs.
Wow. Well, in just 4 years, Brandon's racked up an incredible 38 championship rings. Now he's focused on carrying that success to the travel circuit before entering his first year in high school. We congratulate Brandon Garcia Jr., our leaderboard athlete of the week. My goodness, 38 rings. Where do you
15
fit
home
that all?
runs as a 14-year-old?
Yeah.
I mean, we might have another
I was
Juice
going to
Bowen
say,
on our hands.
we might look forward to seeing him here in the spring and getting ready for some St. John's Titans baseball.
I know, and I don't want to look too far ahead, but he's on the track to maybe be playing at Fifth Third one day,
Well,
too,
yeah,
moving
that
up
is
in the
true.
ranks.
Yeah, we'll look
Keep
forward
it
to
up,
it.
Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, do you have a young athlete in your life? We want you to show them off. Whether you're a parent, grandparent, or just the biggest fan on the sidelines, we want to see your favorite youth sports moments. Send us your best photos and videos. Your submissions could be featured in WTOL 11 sports specials and across our social media platforms.
All you do is text us your highlights and be sure to include your name, your star's name, and a hometown. The number, which you can see on the screen, is 419-248-1100, or you can email us at sports@WTOL.com.
Well, that was a lot, but that's going to do it for another episode of the Leaderboard here on WTOL 11+. I'm Noelle Blumel.
And I'm Tyler Segerman from our entire WTOL 11 Leaderboard team. We'll see you next game.